Well, should we talk about something good before we talk about something bad?
We could try. Let's lift it up. Let's go.
Let's lift it up, baby.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, and I know it's several days old, but I wanted to make mention of a couple of things on this past week's Raw from Cincinnati on February the 24th. We're apparently in Cincinnati for a television taping. They had 12,259 people. Holy crap. I mean, it's not even in the realm of realism anymore. This Netflix, whatever the Netflix did domestically, I figured it would increase their worldwide audience, but why are people now just watching or reacting to Raw like this because it's on Netflix when it's been on TV in other places for 20 fucking years, 30 years?
Oh, I don't think it's just Raw. I think it's across the company. I think NXT is having a remarkable hot run right now. I think SmackDown obviously is, and AEW was just in Cincinnati with the hometown boy, Jon Moxley. Remember, it was a smaller room, which they're doing now, and it's the right thing to do, but it just didn't have the energy, it didn't have the look. And then you see WWE come to the same town, and it's night and day.
And boom goes the dynamite. But there were two segments that were kind of the opposite ends of each other that I wanted to point out real quick. And I'm not going to go through the entire exchange word for word, but Logan Paul was in the ring. He was cutting a promo. He's got heat. He's a good heel promo. And apparently he really is a dick. So it works, and you can tell. And he said he's going to win the Elimination Chamber. And so he's a star. The people see him at that level, and they don't like him. And then suddenly, boom, like Mussolini with Skyline Chili. Brian, have you ever had any Skyline Chili from Cincinnati?
No.
Heavenly shades of night are falling. It's Skyline time. That's the jingle.
Oh boy, no, let's not.
Because they were open late. Oh, they've been there. Look up Skyline Chili. They've been up there in the Cincinnati area since at least the 50s or 60s, and it's a whole new presentation of chili. You'd love it. And it's got the spaghetti, or it's got the 5 ways, or it's got all kinds of stuff.
Whatever gets you to stop singing. And again, we have a lot of audio we're upgrading still. If you hear peaking because of Jim singing, we're working on it.
You hear peaking because that was me hitting a note that that even a modern microphone couldn't pick up because it has such a rare
note.
Octave to it.
Sounded like a Mayan death whistle.
So you sound like a disemboweled cat. So here comes Punk, and they're chanting CM Punk, CM Punk. And Punk was wearing the Chicago Teachers Union shirt. So Punk supports education, and Logan Paul supports the guy who wants to abolish education. So at least we got that clear on who's on which side. And, they cut the promo on each other, and Logan Paul, that's the difference, because he still isn't that experienced on what he's doing in this world. And he does great heel shit, but he still has that element of, I'm saying this to get a reaction, whereas Punk is so fucking natural. But Punk's more natural than most of the boys. But, Logan Paul's doing the heel shit, and it was good. And he mocked Punk for being injured, and it's only a matter of time before the fans are chanting for me and all that stuff. But Punk was zinging him. You're a dime a dozen loudmouth kid who does and says stupid things for a reaction. There's no substance to you. And me and the other people that you mentioned, I think Cena and whoever, are legends that make history, and you're a flash in the pan that won't be here long enough to make history. You're going to be history. And Punk is going to win the Elimination Chamber and face Cody, blah, blah, blah. But Punk said, I'm Satan himself in this business, and you're nobody. And then Logan Paul, in the face-off, he slaps him and rolls out. And Punk says, run while your legs still work, because when I get you, you're going to understand why they chant my name. I like that you get a clear baby face, you got a clear heel, you understand what their fucking issue is, and the delivery was very good on Logan Paul's part and excellent as usual on Punk's part. And I want to see it. Now they've set that up. I want to see that match. It doesn't.
You think it's Mania?
Well,
and they set it up before this. Remember, all of a sudden, Punk took a shot at Logan Paul. Was it an interview with Sammy? One of his recent confrontations with someone took a shot at Kevin Owens. You even lost to Logan Paul. That's what it was. So they've been kind of slowly building, and then the Royal Rumble elimination. Do you think it's Mania, this kind of match?
Well, but see, with The Rock coming in to, disrupt whatever the fuck's going on, you never know where they were going or what the final Mania card was going to be. But if it's going to be Cody and Cena, Punk's going to need something to do. But nevertheless, the thing is, they've got multiple options. They've got all these top guys have issues with each other to the point where you can do something like this, especially if you've got a member of the board of directors coming in to insert and inseminate himself into things. But this made you want to see Logan Paul and Punk. And that would be the goal.
Yeah, I thought Logan Paul killed it here. I thought Logan Paul was exceptional. And you say he still comes across, whatever you said, in an unbelievable way.
Well, not unbelievable,
it works for
but
him.
he's saying yes because he's a dickhead.
He's a heel. He's a heel that clearly enjoys being a heel. That makes him a bigger heel.
Yes, and you can tell that he has prepared a public statement to tell people how great he is and what a dick, or what shitheads they are. But it's still, Punk's so natural that you believe him. You believe that he is, and there's some element of truth to this, that Logan Paul is indeed a fucking flash to pan, and the kid is shouting obscenities to get noticed.
You want to make people believe? Take a shot at him over Crypto Zoo, or whatever his crypto thing was that apparently there's a lot of people feel like they were owed some money or whatever the situation. He's suing CoffeeZilla. Whatever the situation is, ask him about that.
No, nobody ever said Logan Paul was the soul of honesty now. But the point is, they made you want to see this with this segment.
You know what? They made me want to see it, although if I think about it, it's not an easy match for either guy. Like, as I'm thinking about them working together, very, very different physically in terms of style. Logan Paul is tall and lanky, although muscular. Punk, I don't know. And Logan Paul isn't. Punk in there with someone who knows how to work, it's amazing. But Punk in there with someone who, either memorizes a routine or just doesn't have the instincts that you wouldn't have if you haven't done this day in and day out for a while.
Right, yeah.
I don't know. I actually wonder how that match would be.
Or can Punk work with him enough to bring him up to a level to where without stunts, because that Punk is not going to be engaging in double springboards off the top rope through furniture to the floor, whatever the fuck. Can he bring Logan Paul up to where does Logan Paul have the drive and determination to have a really well-worked fucking match to his repertoire of crash test dumminess?
Hey, and I'll take those promos leading up to WrestleMania, back and forth, Punk and Logan Paul.
Yeah, and we've said Logan Paul is we praised him for being as good, having matches that good, with the experience level that he was at. And of course, yes, they've been walked through or run through or gone through or whatever ahead of time. But at the same time, if he's a good enough athlete to do the moves that he's done and put everything together, then he's also a good enough athlete to be able to tell a physical story if he's got a guy leading him in that direction. So I think we'll see if, as the veterans used to say, if he can keep his ears open and his mouth shut, I bet you it's good. It would be pretty good. I'm about to say gonna. We don't know if we're getting it or not.
And it's good, too, because it gets Punk away from the guys that he's been working with pretty much nonstop since he came back. Seth and what's his name? McIntyre, obviously. It's time for something new, and this is something very, very new.
But the problems is that the other big major monologue segment or soliloquy or dramatic rendition on this show was Cody in the ring and with our friend Seth Franklin Rollins. And it was later on in the program. And as much as the thing with Punk and Logan Paul made me want to see them do something, this didn't work. It didn't do anybody any favors. It didn't get
this rock stuff. It's this rock stuff. It's killing
that's
Cody.
Exactly. Yes.
It's killing Cody. Yep.
Because they were having to talk about this shit that you could tell that the people didn't want to hear about. Because Cody came to the ring and he asked again, instead of, what do you want to talk about? It was like, Cincinnati, I'm pretty sure I know what we're supposed to talk about. And they didn't want to talk about it. And he was so down and, and what does it mean to ask for a man's soul? And they did it. And then he was
still don't know, by the way. That was never answered.
No.
It was just a question into the ether.
The question is hanging in the air, but that Cody was going into one of the ones that you don't like, and now I see the promos where he's trying to with flowery verbiage and eloquence of language make up for the fact that they no story here that anybody wants to hear told to them. It's come out of nowhere and it's been shoved in, and this audience ain't looking for it. And he said, it's good guy 101 that I never lie to you. I will never lie to you. But then he said, this decision that I'm faced with doesn't just affect me, but my wife, my daughter, my sister, my students, my nephews, my mother, the memory of my father. Dusty got a nice ovation. And then he said, the offer is everything that I would fight and scratch and claw to get without having to fight and scratch and claw. He was presenting it like he was thinking about it, like he was actually legitimately considering it, and they didn't want to hear that. Do you agree with me or not from the people's reaction?
That's the thing. I don't think anyone, and it just happened on Friday, so it was a few days earlier, but it had a major audience. It was The Rock. It was known for at least enough time that people tuned in. Nobody came out of that and said, I shouldn't say that. The audience that came out of that and said, I want more of this and I want to see where this is go was a lot smaller than the people who just wanted Cody to continue what he was doing, working with whoever was going to win the Elimination Chamber at WrestleMania. Cena. I think they would have wanted Cena more than, they could still pull Cena into this, but the Rock stuff is unnecessary.
Well, as he got to that point where, again, you're left with the thought that, is he considering this? Which just doesn't do Cody any favors. Then Seth's music plays, and here he comes to the ring in a red leather raincoat and baggy red leather pants. And I wrote this promo wasn't getting over, and now I don't know where it's going. But Seth's whole thing is, what the hell are you thinking? Which again gives credence to that Cody is thinking about this, because Cody's not denying it. He's not blowing it off immediately. Like, I'm not thinking about this shit. What the hell are you thinking? We fought The Rock and the Bloodline last year, and now he's back and he wants you to sell him your soul. And that you didn't slap him in the face is a slap in my face. And then Cody said, well, Seth, that sounds awfully judgmental coming from you. I'm like, God damn it. God damn it. Now, no. Because now Cody is fucking, Seth just said what all the fans are saying to Cody in their head, and now he's telling them they're judgmental is what is happening there. Because somebody is crafting this story. But you're judge. The Rock didn't ask for your soul because it's tainted. Because you've turned on people. You hit so and so with a chair and did this and that and the other thing. But you were my shield at WrestleMania, and you helped me achieve my dream, even though you had a bad leg and blah, blah, blah. And I wrote, this is long and going nowhere. And Seth wants to protect Cody from making a mistake that he made years ago, doing all these treacherous things. And he tells Cody, don't make me hate you, Cody. God damn. And Seth fired up and said that he wanted to face the good Cody because he's still going to win the Elimination Chamber and then fight Cody and me, but he's not coming for his soul, just his title. So he gave him a pep talk before he told him that he was going to win the right to kick his fucking ass and take his belt away. This was not good. Was it good to you? It wasn't good to me.
People like the motivated Cody, people like the rah-rah Cody more than I would, but they do. They don't like the sad and this was like Hangman Page and MJF the other day in AEW, except they're not going to wrestle each other. And again, we're putting over, it's all about The Rock, who's not even there. So you have the world champion talking to another top guy, all about someone else who isn't even there, and they don't even say outright what the hell he wants. What does it mean when someone wants your soul? That's a really deep question, Cody. Why don't you tell me what you think? We don't get anything on that. And the other question is, based on what happened last year, the pivot, because the fans were rejecting what they were getting from the Dwayne Johnson camp, and WWE amazingly reacted quickly. They can't do that 2 years in a row. That'll cause a problem. Right? How did they go 2 years in a row and go, Nick, you got to sit down and talk to this fucking guy. He can't just roll up and do this shit. We've come a long way since Gewurz was writing for the show, and this Rock stuff is self-indulgent, which only works if it works. This ain't working. He left the ring from that Cody segment on SmackDown. The fans were quiet. I don't know if I've ever heard the fans that quiet when The Rock left the ring after any of the comeback segments since like 2000, whatever.
Yeah, well, because they're confused because he's a prick 1 second and he loves them the next. And then he comes out afterwards and tells them, I enjoy playing this wild, wacky character of the final boss. They're like, he's just coming in because he can. They don't like that.
And that's the other thing, because it's The Rock doing that at a scrum, that shit goes around. You know, it always goes around whenever anyone at AEW does it. Some of them stay in kayfabe. Tony Storm is the wacky Tony Storm at the scrum. But Dwayne Johnson, immediately after this confusing segment, going out there and saying, oh, you know, I loved what I did. Cody loved it too. And we don't even have to wrestle. I think that's the genius of what I did. Again, Jericho disease, talking about the genius of the idea you have.
The magnitude of him.
And now we have this. We have Seth Rollins coming out there to console Cody Rhodes or whatever this was. This can't continue.
Otherwise, on Monday Night Raw, also the Women's World Tag Team title match. You said, watch this match. It was a really good match. Bianca and Naomi against Liv and Rochelle. And you said, watch the match. It's good. And afterwards, I said, the match was just average. The finish was incredible.
You thought it was just average. I mean, the fans were really into it, especially at the end. And
no, the finish. I'm not. But now the finish was about the last 5 minutes of the match.
Okay, good. I thought you meant like just the last thing.
No. See that? Well,
okay, good.
See, that's pedestrian thinking. Pedestrian, I say. When they were what they did. I didn't time it, but I say the last 5 minutes, but it was probably a good 5-minute go home cue where they went into the roller coaster ride of the build of the false finishes and the peaks and valleys and ebbs and flows and twists and turns and ramadama ding dongs of their finish. And that's what I'm talking about when I say Not only I've talked in the past about how, we'd have guys get a 3-minute cue or a 4-minute cue or whatever to go home. That's not just the finish, not just like, oh, small package. That's going into what you have called for a finish. And that's the old Eddie Graham shit. The Kevin Sullivan said if they had a 15-minute match, Eddie's finish would take 7.5 minutes or whatever. But the match itself was average, but not only, and I'm not just indicting the talent here, whoever their producer was or whoever figured this finish, it was fucking brilliant, but everybody in the match did it perfectly too. And they were in the right spot at the right time, and they got the right reaction, and Dominic interfered, and they got multiple 2 counts, and that's where the "this is awesome" chance started coming, because there was a lot of back and forth and hot false finishes and things where you think the baby faces have triumphed, but no at the last minute, or the heels have got the fuck, but no at the last second. And then finally, while Naomi is about to do whatever the fuck she was going to do to live, Rochelle posted Naomi, and Liv pinned her, boom, 1, 2, 3, and got a big pop because people like Liv Morgan. Now that she's fairly iconically a heel, they're kind of getting into her. And it also is a title change, but that's what I mean. A lot of times, even average workers, if they just click just right, whether it's a single match or a tag team match or whatever, and they've got a really good finish, they can have a 4-star fucking match. Or you can have guys that are goddamn some of the premier workers in the business, and if their finish sucks or their styles clash or whatever, it's going to be bleh. So, every once in a while, your finish will really elevate the match if it's got the right twists and turns and people take the ride with you. So I love that. And everybody involved did a wonderful job. Allow me to give a round of applause that sounds like a meeting room of the Future Farmers Association.
What'd you think of Dominic?
But yeah, it was very good.
What'd you think of Dominic, the way he worked ringside?
Oh, yeah, well, he's got a lot of oomph to him. He has energy and commitment, the young whippersnapper. I'm glad to see him doing well. He was a horrible babyface. This is so good for him. Remember with the first year he was a babyface, we said, Jesus Christ.
And
it made Ray look rotten too, because his fucking geeky kid was 1.5 feet taller than him. Must have fucking married the tallest woman in the world for the genes to come out even. But I wonder, I don't know that I've ever seen her standing up next to anyone. Is Rey Mysterio's wife 7 feet 2?
We've seen a picture of her. I believe she's maybe 5'5" at the very most.
But she got tall genes.
But I thought it was an excellent match, excellent finish. Liv and Raquel are really good together. The fans are really into the Liv, Dominic, Raquel thing, and it works. Where are they going to go now with the Who Injured Jade storyline is the interesting thing.
Well, and that's where is Jade, and what was her injury? Did she have a brain transplant? How long has she been out?
Nope, they only do that in Japan, apparently.
Well, the people have recovered from, goddamn limb amputations in less time.
Well, we'll find out, I assume soon. Apparently she's been training for her comeback, but that was WWE Raw in Cincinnati.
You know what they're starting to do now before they go out on television? All the wrestlers and the top athletes, the basketball players, the football players, the snowboarders, the ping pongers. You know what they're all doing, don't you?
I don't know what you're referring to. No.
They're taking a big shot of protein.
Oh.
It's all the people that have the active lifestyle and they go out and they move and they groove and they shuck and they jive and they just fight like big dogs. They all take care of their bodies. They need the nutritious stuff. They don't need the chemicals, the processed things of today, the sugars, the carbs. They don't need all that stuff. They need protein. And they can't just gnaw on lion flanks all day. So sometimes you have to take portable protein, Brian, protein that you can consume on the go. And that's like our Orgain 30-gram complete protein shakes. Well, you don't have to go home to drink one of those. You can stick one in your pocket and pop the top on it at any time. You're out in the woods, you're out on the street, you're laying in the gutter, whatever your personal habits may be. You can drink one of these right out of your pocket. Boom, chuck it down, 30 grams of protein. I think it's only 1 gram of sugar, almost negligible. And it helps you maintain a healthy lifestyle when you're laying there drunk, spun out on crack, in a gutter somewhere with hookers' piss dribbling all around you. You still want to maintain a healthy lifestyle and keep your body in decent condition.
Why is there hooker piss all around you in the gutter? Is it from something you personally ordered, or is it just because it's the gutter and that's where they piss?
Well, most of the time when I'm laying in the gutter, that's kind of the ambiance that I've got around me. But you can still have one of these protein shakes. See, that's the thing. You can look good. It tastes amazing. Tastes like a chocolate milkshake without all of the things that are bad for you in the chocolate milkshake, like the sugar and they put pure cane sugar in a lot of these things, and your teeth immediately fall into powder and just fall down your throat. And it tears up your digestion. With Orgain, you'll poop better too. At least I do. It might be unrelated. And they've got protein powders and bars and shakes and other nutritional products that the whole family will love. If you take like a 6-month-old baby and take one of these protein bars and just go ahead and chew it up and just like the birds do, and just kind of chew it up in your mouth and then dribble it into the little baby's mouth. Well, that gets them started early on a healthy lifestyle.
No,
eating well.
I don't know who would advise that other than nobody.
Just rub their throat so it goes down better.
Listen, let's worry about yourself and worry about you, the adult listening to this, the adult who has a way of purchasing a fine source of protein that is delicious. You will enjoy it. It will taste like a chocolate milkshake, or maybe even better. Maybe you enjoy something better than that, and maybe this will be on par with that. You need to try it to find out. Jim, Orgain is great. It's protein. Tell him, Jim.
Yes, and apparently you need to be an adult, so just show your driver's license. Head right now to Orgain.com, Orgain, Orgain.com/Jim. Now you're going to have to show your driver's license or proof of age. This is like ordering porn through the mail. You got to be an adult. So, as a matter of fact, maybe a passport. Or some type of legal document, like, do you have a deed to your home?
But listen, this is one of the wonderful things about Orgain. You don't need any of that. All you need to do is go to Orgain's website, use the promo code, and you can purchase a fine amount of protein that's delicious at a great fine price just for you, because you listen to this show and because we have a great relationship with Orgain that we're going to make sure we keep. Yes. Right, Jim?
Yes, it's a wonderful discount. You're going to 30% off is what you're going to get. 30% off. So let's say you order 10, you're going to get 3 for free. You're only going to pay for 7. As long as they don't catch you. This is something we've done. We've hacked their website.
No, we haven't hacked anything. Let's not joke about that. It's 30% off the price. No hacking.
Well, that's if you use the code Jim. See, they don't know about this. This is totally unsanctioned. We've just gotten into their back into their system.
No, we have
and
not.
We're offering our listeners this discount, Orgain.com/Jim, 30% off your order when you use the promo code Jim. But
you can't even get into your emails. You can't even get into your emails. You got into the back system. What are you talking about?
I had Hotchkiss do it. He's familiar with getting into people's back ends.
Once again, Orgain, they are our friends, and they are delicious friends. One more time, what's that promo code, Jim?
Orgain.com/Jim. Use the promo code Jim, 30% off your order. Helps with pooping. Or it could be totally coincidental. No, I'm not sure.
We can't make any kind of statement like that. That would go against the rules, but we could say that you will certainly poop if you are living, and why not have a poop with the remnants of the protein in your gut? Once again, Orgain, the best protein. It's delicious.